Hi, and welcome to Coach's Corner, where systems matter and both personal and professional learning and development is beneficial for everyone and essential for some. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started.
So they're moving into health physical. Right? I mean, I think that's in the name.
Yeah.
Health physical. So
Yes,
that
sir.
includes, working out, drinking water, everything like that. But what are the things that you wouldn't think that are in health physical?
I don't know about things that I would think that weren't, but I just have like 7 or 8 things that I believe are in there.
Okay.
So I believe sleep, and I think that there's a lot around that, and science is catching up, or maybe we're catching up to science. That's a big deal. I saw a study, a couple years ago, and they did somebody that was sleep deprived and somebody that was drinking alcohol, and then they did like a simulator, driving test.
Yeah.
The guy that was sleep deprived was way worse than the guy that had alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I think there's a lot of health and science around that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think sleep's important. I think hydration's important. I think a lot of times we, especially as athletes, we go pound a Gatorade, and it's like, hey, just water.
Right.
Just pound some water for a while, right? There's nothing better than water. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think hydration, and I think that's critically important.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think there's the normal stuff. I think there's consumption.
Right.
What are you eating, not eating, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I think there's the cardio that we all need to do.
Yeah.
I think there's strength training, which has been proven out that's, helpful.
Yeah.
I think there's, stretching, suppleness, different things of that nature.
Yeah.
Now they're getting into some little bit wild stuff, like I forget what it's called, but the Reebok CrossFit.
Oh, yeah.
And then I see Conor McGregor, crazy man. He's walking on the ground like like a bear or giraffe or something. So but either way, it's movement. It's having things go.
Yeah.
I think that we live a sedentary life. And I think that's why things like, I don't know what they're called, but the Peloton that, where you get to raise your desk up. And, or they have the treadmills now with them. And I just think we need to get up and we need to move.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so, with that could be that's an all-day thing. Health physical, right? From sleeping to working out. So how do you find the time to do all of it when you're working 14, 15, 16? However many hours you're working in a day, because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, and that's not to mention the mental and emotional, psychological aspect of health physical. It's not just a physical.
Right.
Right? It's all of those things. But I think it's tough, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I believe in systems. That's why I believe in structures. Because even if I miss something, I know I missed it. So do I want to double up on it the next day? Or do I just want to go, hey, life happens. Right, so to speak. But it gives me a chance to know that I'm choosing to not do that. And I'm choosing not to do that, whether that be formally or informally. But it's not that I'm oblivious.
Right.
I know what's going on over here.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's what's critically important about any kind of system, no matter what it is.
Right. And so, I know that you're not a health expert, but I know that you've researched a lot.
Are you telling me my physique is...
No, but I know that you've researched a lot, just everything, but you know a lot. What would you say that someone should get an hour's worth of sleep? When they're going to sleep, what should they shoot for?
I think it should be 8 hours.
Okay.
And I think it should be consistent. So 10 to 6 or 9 to 5 or...
so a scheduled sleep time, not 12 to 8 one day and then 10 to... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that's important. And then I think also, if you're just tired, see if you can take a nap. Even if you just lay down and just relax and chill out. I know my father-in-law, who's in great health, that was his MO. He worked his tail off till noon. He'd come home and eat, and he would take a nap for 20 minutes or whatever, power nap.
Oh, yeah.
And then, and he was suit and tie guy. He had to take all that off, go to,
Oh,
Then, and then he'd go back to work. And he's a pretty healthy dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. And so, I know that, in the past you said that, when you're running behind, you'll, put things together or, you'll do them at the same time. When you're running late and you need to get a workout in or a cardio in, will you add things to that to make it go faster, or will you just double up, or, how does that work?
Yeah, so I'll grab a Twinkie.
Okay.
And I'll eat, 'cause I got to eat. Consumption's part of it.
Yeah.
While I'm walking to grab the soda out of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, so I think you can, or you do less. So, man, I was going to do 20 reps today, and so I'm going to do 10 of each, right? Which maybe saves 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, right? Yeah. I'm going to, instead of drinking 120 ounces of water today, I know that I'm going to be, filming for 8 hours straight, and I don't want to have to go, excuse me, got to go take a tinkle break, right? And so you would do a little bit less of that. So I think you just, you understand that it's there. You do the best that you can, and you don't get upset and mad about it if you can't get there. And if you do get upset and mad, that's fine. I get upset and mad at myself, but it doesn't linger.
Right.
Like I'm like, okay, I'm like a quarterback who threw an interception.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, okay, I threw an interception. I'm gonna score 3 TDs in a minute. Yeah. So in your, right? That's the way I kind of look at it. But to me, with the audience, whatever you guys think, works for you, is important. But I think to not have a plan, to not have a structure, to not have a system, to not have processes, procedures, customs, habits, rituals. And then the big thing I always say to people I talk with is, maybe you have those and they're great. Maybe you have them and they're no good. Going back to the ham story. Yeah. If you're doing things based off of tradition and it doesn't make sense, stop.
Right.
Stop doing that. Yeah. Do something different.
Right.
Do something that makes sense. 1 + 1 will always be 2.
Yeah.
Right? We're not trying to, figure out how to make it 7 or 19 or 400. No. Some things are just pretty, well, black and white. And so I always say, control the things you can control. Try to influence the things that you can't control. And if all else fails, just get on your knees and pray a whole bunch.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to be asking you kind of a tougher question because, like I said, I know
Wait a minute. I got to button up for the tough questions.
I know that you're not an expert in this, but, I have a roommate who's a night owl.
Okay.
So he can, he can go from sleep to 1 to 5 in the morning, 4 hours, and he can be fine. And he can do that consistently, and then maybe one day he'll get 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's people out there, just like that, right? So, what is your advice to them, or do you not really have any advice for them, or, yeah.
Well, I think that's not optimal.
Right.
But I also think there's freaks of nature.
Right.
Go look around. I've seen some giraffes that are like, that's not a giraffe, that's a freaking dinosaur.
Right.
Go look at the NFL.
Yeah.
There's some freaky dudes out there. So I think that it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Got it.
But I don't think that's optimal. I think that sleep's important. And I think the older you get, the less sleep that you need sometimes. And so I think there's always nuances, right? There's nothing in life that's truly just like, black and white, other than I guess you're going to die and pay taxes, right? But there's a lot of, shades of the black, which, starts turning into grays and different things.
Yeah.
So I would just say for somebody like that, if they can, on their days off or, different things of that nature, if you're working late or whatever.
Yeah.
If you can't get, 7 days a week, 24/7, 365 in a rhythm, 10 to 6, whatever. Do the best you can on as many days as you can.
Got it. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. And, like I said,
tell him that. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Malik.
Yeah.
Malik, that's going to cost you at least 100. I tell the people the joke about the saying that the lady, she drives up to the mechanic and her car's going click, 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 click,
oh,
click,
yeah.
right? And so the mechanic opens up the door, he looks in and goes, hey, excuse me, will you hand me my screwdriver and that hammer? She's like, okay. And he does something, goes click. And then he goes, will you put those 2 things back where you got them? She's like, yeah. And then he hands her $100. That's the bill for the work that he did.
Right.
She's like, $100? He goes, yeah, you're right. He said, I should have charged you more for my tools, but I didn't. I charged you $1 for the hammer.
Yeah.
I charged you $1 for the screwdriver, and I charged you $98 on where to hit it.
Right.
Right. And I think that, that's where we're at, right? Or I don't know if you've heard the saying before about the old bull and the young bull at the top of the mountain. And there's a bunch of heifers down at the bottom.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the young bulls, and sometimes the old bulls too, but the young bulls get impatient. Right. And so the young bull says, hey, I want to run down there and have sex with one of those heifers. And the old bull says, well, we could just walk down and have sex with all of them.
Right.
Right. And so I think that it's that tradition sometimes dictates things that don't make sense.
Right.
So let's get away from that.
Yeah, got it. And so, I think that, maybe I'm putting words into your mouth. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. You said that, 8 hours of sleep is optimal and probably the most important out of health and health physical. Is that correct?
I think so. I mean, obviously you have to have water and get hydrated too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, I think of Jesus 40 days, 40 nights without eating and stuff, but you have to have water. I don't know the exact whatever. I think it's like 4 or 5 days and you're in big trouble.
Well,
if you don't.
yeah.
So
Right.
I think those two things are probably, very critical.
Gotcha. So, if you guys don't learn anything else, start sleeping well, guys. It's important. Like you said, it's worse than driving drunk. I mean, that'll tell you something.
Yeah, and put your mouth on the tap water.
Yeah.
Tap water's still good. Sorry about the bottled water industry.
Yeah. So with, run us through something like a workout of yours, like a strength workout for you.
Well, it was interesting because I trained with my son, who's a professional athlete.
Okay.
And so I was an idiot, right? Like
Okay.
I was training because you train differently if you're a bodybuilder or if you're a grandma or whatever.
Right.
You're still doing the same. It's basically 12 muscles we have. Right.
Yeah.
Forearm, bicep, tricep, deltoid, traps,
Yeah.
lat muscles, you got your obliques, and some of them have bigger than others. You have your chest, then you have your 3 leg muscles, calf, hamstring, and thighs, right?
Yeah.
But the way that you train them would be different.
Right.
So if you're a bodybuilder, you're going to keep those movements to where, you want to keep things really tight.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about as an athlete, you want to keep long because you don't want something to pop when you're, going 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Plus, you want to do explosive things like Olympic lifts, snatches, clean and jerks, cleans, different things of that nature.
Yeah.
So when I was training my son,
Yeah.
he's a decathlete, I would do his workout.
Oh.
Not super smart.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I already have a bad neck from playing football.
Right.
I was so little, you had to go head first into anything and,
Yeah.
throw your body at stuff and so on and so forth. But that's
Wow.
what we would do. We would do those major 4 lifts, so squats, clean, snatches, and then we did clean and jerk just for quickness.
Okay.
And then we would follow that back, with some hamstring work, some calf work. We never did biceps. I should do them now.
Yeah.
Because we didn't feel like that was for an athletic, movement per
Yeah.
se. Yeah. And what he was doing.
Right.
Some of those football guys, they look like they do a little bicep.
Yeah.
And maybe that's okay if you're not throwing a ball or whatever.
Right.
Not that you wouldn't work a little bit on it, but we didn't do a lot.
of it, yeah.
A lot of tricep work, a lot of, bench,
Yeah.
getting strong. And so I did that, and now I do what I call my old man exercise.
Okay.
Everything's versus the air. I squat versus the air.
Oh.
I do my toe raises versus the air.
Yeah.
I do the hamstring curls with
Oh.
with no weight,
Wait.
just versus the air.
Yeah.
Right, just to try to stay a little bit tight.
Right. So, it changes on how old you are and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, what you're trying to accomplish, right?
Right.
Because I used to tell people all the time, like, I want to do curls. I'm like, for what reason?
Right.
For the girls on the beach? Well,
Yeah.
great. If that's what you want to do is go sit on the beach and look good, then do a bunch of curls. That
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
Right.
But as an athlete, depending on what,
Yeah.
athletic thing you're doing in the position, probably doesn't make a lot of sense.
Made a lot of sense. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you. So, was there anything, that you'd like a story to tell or anything that, I didn't ask that you would like to tell the audience or share with the audience?
And specifically with family, friends? Or
Sorry, in specific with Health Physical.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a long night. I don't drink, but if I did, I had a few too many. I just think that, no offense to all you what I call flat bills out there. Don't get mad at me, right? But I used to go up there. I mean, these guys are huge, right? I mean, these guys are. And then I look at their legs, and I have pretty decent sized legs, and I would go, hey, I want to introduce you to the squat rack.
Oh, you mean where they do their curls?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's only 2 squat racks in the whole building.
Yeah.
Right. There's 400 bars they can do curls with, but no, they want to go get the straight bar and hold. Yeah, those people. Hey, if you happen to see me out in public, we can have a chat about it. No problem. No, but I mean, that kind of stuff is fun. There was another guy in the gym. I mean, I've seen a bunch of guys like this, but they don't look like much.
Yeah.
And then you see him like bench or something, and you're like, that dude's freaking people, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's the look of the physique of people, and then there's the people that don't look like anything.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that amaze me, that are just, they don't look like much, and then all of a sudden they're squatting, 600 pounds, and you're like, woo.
Right.
That's impressive.
That's
right?
impressive. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because anybody can shoot the needle and get big biceps.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, but
I'm probably not making a lot of fans out there with the flat bills. I apologize, flat bills. You can call me the curved bill. I don't care.
the old Bill.
Yeah, the old bill. Is that what they call it?
Well, that's what I call it.
Hey, but I got to go have sex with all of them.
There
right?
you go. Yep.
So sorry if I was offensive.
So moving in.
If you need to contact Brett or Coach, please do so on his social media accounts, email, and or text. You can find that information in the description below. Again, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Thanks, and we hope you enjoyed.
Over this camera, over this video, you will as well.
Time out. Here's a few $100, few C notes.